Today we are continuing our Modern Parenthood Week with former Big Brother star Kate Lawler, who is on a mission to break the taboo of not wanting kids. Here to tell us more, please give a really warm welcome to Kate Lawler.
Exciting. Hi.
It's nice to see you.
Lovely to be here.
Now, this sort of came into the public domain, I suppose, your opinions on children, through the podcast that you do.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was something that you and your fiancé were going through personally. Why did you decide to sort of put it into a podcast? What was the thought process behind it?
Well, I guess for the first time in my life, I thought, what would it be like to have a child? And we thought, because everybody else was doing podcasts, why not do one ourselves? And I didn't just want to do a podcast about any topic. I thought I want to do something that resonates with me. And I thought it would be great. And essentially, it's a fun and light-hearted look at all stages of pregnancy, from birth, conception, pregnancy, newborns. And we just thought, let's speak to a bunch of people, a bunch of women who have had kids and women who haven't had children as well, because not all women want children. Yeah. And it's just been a really eye-opening experience.
And are you doing it in a sort of research way, as in, have I fully made my mind up yet, and could anyone change their mind? Or
well, I'm hoping it will convince Bodge not to leave me alone, and he's hoping it will convince me to change my mind, so we'll end up having a baby.
We should establish, because your partner really wants a child.
He really does, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, look, there he is. He's so handsome. I love him. But we do have differing views, and it's really tricky because we've been together for 6 years, and I think he thought I'd eventually change my mind. I'm 40 next year. It is a kind of like we're getting married, and I feel like, oh, should I be having a baby? But the problem is, not all women want to have children. You know, maternal ambivalence is on the rise. More women are freezing their eggs, choosing a career over motherhood. And I think that's finally because women are being true to themselves and doing what's right for them rather than what society tells them to do. But there does seem like a bit of, you know, you get judged if you say you don't want children, and you get questioned.
Have you considered freezing your eggs?
No.
You haven't?
Should I?
Because I don't know, but I haven't had children, and it's not something I regret in the slightest. But I come from a background where I think you've said the same thing, where your parents and your grandparents started asking, you know, the minute you turned 20, you got into your 20s, they started looking at you, hoping that something would happen.
Yeah.
And my mother made me so annoyed. I said, why don't you buy a dog? Because get a pet, because stop transferring all this need to cuddle something onto me, because it's not going to happen, love. But
I think, do you know what? I actually think my dogs are to blame for me not wanting kids, because I feel so maternal around them. Yeah. And I think if I didn't have a dog, maybe I would want a child, but I just, they are the best, and they're cheaper than kids. Yeah. I don't have to give them pocket money.
Have you always been at the point that you never wanted? Have you always felt the hormones never kicked in at any point?
I've never had a loud biological clock ticking, and it comes with all kinds of emotions. It's quite a complicated feeling to have, because one day I'll be like, what's wrong with me? Is there something, you know what I mean? I should be feeling like I want kids. I'm 39. Yeah. Since I was 18, all my friends have been having babies, and nothing ever kind of connects, or I don't ever have that maternal instinct.
And I'm being really devil's advocate here, because I think it's everybody's right to be the way they are, and lots of people haven't had children and don't regret it at all. But you obviously love your husband to be very, very much. So I just, in a devil's advocate way, just say, if you love somebody that much and they're so desperate to have a child, do you ever feel, well, I love him so much that I want him to have this family feeling, I want him to be happy, I want him to have the child that he longs for?
I do. Yeah, that's a really good question. I do. I feel it all the time, especially now we're getting married. Yeah. But I can't just have a baby because Bodge wants me to have a baby. I have to want it myself, because my biggest fear is having a baby that I was kind of pressurised into having. Yeah. And then, obviously, if you have a kid that you don't connect with, or you don't get on with, or it's hard work, then you're always going to resent your partner for making you do something like that. But he's not pressurising me.
Yeah. Like, but even just knowing that somebody, because something like this is quite fundamental within a relationship, and obviously the two of you are clearly working it out in a really positive way, which is great. But what is the sort of feedback that you've had? Because not all, and it does tend to be mainly women, have such a patient view towards a woman who decides, actually, I don't want to have children. They can be quite strong.
Yeah. I think I've always felt like I wasn't going to be a mum. to children. I've got 2 kids, but they both have 4 legs and furry faces, and I love being a dog mum. But since I was 18, I've been saying, no, I'm not going to have kids. And when you're 18, people go, oh, but you'll change your mind. And then when you're 28, people will go, oh, you don't want to leave it too late. And then now I'm getting, oh, but who's going to look after you when you're older? Like, there's no guarantee that you're even going to live near your child, or they'll want to look after you, or they'll be able to look after you, or you'll have a good relationship with them.
There are no guarantees in life anyway.
No.
But the reality, I think, is, and of course I come from an era where, in a way, when you got married, you sort of were expected to have children. It was just the hormones were there, and that's what you thought you did. But I believe, this is my opinion, that you really don't understand, as an individual, how much you love a baby or love a child or children until you actually have one, have the experience. And from my own personal point of view, it's the best thing I've ever done in my whole life. And if I'd lived my life again, I'd have more. But then that's how I feel, really. They sort of, in a way, although I've got a career and everything, but they are my life. I just love being a mother.
You're telling me what so many mums say. Like, the one comment that gets me a little bit is like, you'll never know real love.
Oh,
no.
But like, until you have a baby, I get that so much.
It's
and I'm
a
like,
different love.
I love, yeah.
But isn't there another way of looking at this whole question about whether women are being selfish by not having children? 20 or 30 years ago, there was no such thing as same-sex marriage or civil partnerships. And what those two things have done have opened up our culture to a new kind of family where all these people who want to have children can have children. They go right ahead, have them on my behalf, on your behalf. They're doing
Have them
it.
for us.
Yeah.
Have them for us.
That's great.
That's what
Well,
I
it's like
feel.
Elton and his partner.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
you think Elton and his partner got together and they were one of the first marriages in this country, and yet the thing they really, really wanted were children.
Absolutely.
You know, and they're
that's
so
great.
happy.
Well, I have to ask you, because I have been a single mother, and I want to know what your fears are about being a single mother and motherhood on that score.
Oh, I don't think that's my biggest fear about being a single mother.
Right.
One of my fears is that we'll have a baby that Bodge really wants, and then we'll break up and I'll be left with a baby I didn't want. But I don't think I'd be afraid of being a single mum, because my twin sister is a single mum and she's killing it. She's really happy. She doesn't need her ex-partner. She's a really great mum to her 2 boys. I think my biggest fear is pushing a baby out of my pansy, which I would never do.
Hang on, I'm just looking at, is that in the dictionary? Is that a
I don't know what else to
Pushing a baby out.
Yeah, I mean, because you...
Do you know that?
I don't think I would... I think I'd choose that.
There are water bursts, there are all these things that happen. I mean, even I know quite a lot about what happens because I made a film where I had to train to be a nursing assistant.
I think...
you can have a lot of sedation, you know, and it'll just kind of plop out.
It doesn't just plop out.
You can have an anaesthetic and be,
fabulous.
you know, and have a cesarean and wake up and it's like Christmas.
I think I would do elective C-section. I know Gemma said yesterday on the show about it being the easy way out. I probably would choose the easy way out.
There is nothing easy about having children. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah.
There's never an easy way out. It's yes, it's fulfilling. But, you know, I appreciate that your views are your views as a...
Yeah, I just feel like having dogs is great, and they are... no, I do, I love them. I don't have to give them pocket money. You know, they don't wear clothes, they're naked all the time, so I don't have loads of laundry. I don't have to pay for their university fees, they don't chat back. They're happy with being given... They never complain about food. They're happy to eat the same food every day. Like, it's just easy having dogs.
You've got such a great point. Why did I have kids?
Look, I know that if I was to have a baby with the man I want to spend the rest of my life with, there's no way I couldn't love it, right? There's no way I couldn't love it. But I just love my life the way it is. And I'm really happy. And I feel like women should be able to say, I want to live child-free without being judged.
I totally agree with you. Totally agree. We fought long and hard to be self-sufficient and independent, and with that comes the right to choose whether or not you want to have kids. So don't listen to anybody. You do whatever you want.